grip. Okay, this is okay. Go straight down.
My brother Alex and I LS swapped my dad's 68 Camaro more than 5 years ago now. And ever since we completed the swap, I've always wanted to put a supercharger on this car. Thanks to a premature clutch failure, I was finally able to talk my dad into doing it while it's up here for some repairs. As far as the clutch goes, we went ahead and swapped out the old LS7 for this McLeod twin disc, which shouldn't have any problem holding the power this car is going to make. This is what everyone is here for, though, the supercharger swap, and I reached out to boostdistrict.com in order to pick up this entire kit. Comes complete with these awesome, absolutely beautiful CNC'd brackets. The factory gaskets come with it also, and this is going to allow us to bolt up the supercharger with the rectangular ports to adapt to the cathedral ports of the 243s that are on this car. We also have the gaskets that we need, the pump for the supercharger, the actual cooler itself, which I opted to do actually the smallest version. It is a twin pass, but I really like the idea of having the inlet and the outlet on the same side. That will come in handy for the routing of those cooling lines. This is by far the centerpiece of this kit for me, though. Boost District's own adapter bracket to allow you to run the F-body or GTO accessory drive with this supercharger. Their custom belt drive tensioner, as well as the Grip Tech Boost District correctly spaced supercharger pulley, is what allows all of this to happen. We did have a ZL1 that came through the shop with a poor leak down and a blower that was making a little bit of noise with the typical snout bearing issue. No bueno, Pete.
It's got nothing.
We went ahead and sent this to our friends over at Kong Performance for a complete refresh, and this thing is ready to go. I always try to find some fun stuff to give away in these videos for those that are interested in some game used memorabilia, we can call it. This pulley, a little bit of damage, just pulling it off. Not going to try and sell it. Perfect giveaway. If you want the pulley, jump down in the comments and say, get boosted. You can see that not only is the diameter of the pulley that we're putting on much, much smaller so it can make a little bit more boost, but also the depth of the pulley is completely different to line up with the spacing that we need for the F-body accessory drive. Now, this is a press on, so we are going to have to go ahead and remove the snout from the blower, go ahead and press that on, and then reinstall. I'm gonna get a max, and I'm gonna get a minimum, and then
we'll... to go around this. Oh, does it go like that? That's a lot of belt wrap.
Yes, that's the whole idea, is that it gets a ton of belt wrap.
97 3/4.
With being able to get it over the pulleys, 98.
There we go. Jesus.
Can you come look at the level on the top of this? It's kind of hard to see from this angle. Right there, it actually looks pretty darn good.
Drop the driver's side a tiny bit. Oh, nope, sorry, wrong way. Driver's side up, right, a little bit more. A tiny bit more. Right there is level.
If I cut it about there.
Are you going to trim the
that's
filter
not
more or
it.
the pipe more?
Well, I'm gonna cut the pipe down here.
Yeah.
I was just gonna cut this. I was gonna leave the pipe.
Oh, okay.
Before we fire up my dad's Camaro with this new supercharger for the first time, we have to talk about our partner DraftKings and their Father's Day promotion. Sign up on DraftKings Casino app now and have your initial deposit matched dollar for dollar up to $100 in casino credits with an additional $10 in casino credits added on just for signing up. DraftKings Casino is the #1 rated casino app with more than 300 real money games. This promotion is good from now until Father's Day. So whether you're a father or not, take advantage of this fantastic promotion. Anyone over 21 can create a new account on DraftKings Casino app. Use the promo code SCRAPLIFE for this fantastic dollar for dollar promotion with a $5 minimum deposit. There's more than 175 slot games, including your favorites and an assortment of DraftKings exclusives. If casino isn't available in your state, then be sure to check out DraftKings Daily Fantasy app, where you can win cash prizes all season long. So if you're looking for a safe, secure, and reliable way to have some fun this Father's Day, then head on over to DraftKings Casino app and sign up now. What does that gauge say?
Normal.
Oh, you know what? We might have taken the factory gauge off of this thing.
Yeah, we used it for that.
Gotcha. Give it a little rev. The car is just on a base map. We have 60-pound injectors in it, so we needed a new map to be able to run those, to just be able to start it up, make sure we don't have any leaks before we go trying to put this thing on the dyno. It definitely, I think, is running rich. It's kind of loading up on fuel when you give it any sort of significant throttle input. But the important thing is that it is driving. The clutch feels good on it. No issues there. This car has always had a pretty unique sound. It has the original mufflers at the back end of the car from when we got this car. So they very well might be some old mufflers, but it has kind of a unique combination of sounding like an LS because that's what it is, but then also having a little bit more of like that old school kind of muscle car sound. So I've always loved driving it. It puts a smile on my face because it sounds different. Got some police activity here. You know, not suspicious at all of me driving around with a 360 cam hanging off the back of the car.
Oh, that's a nice car.
Hopefully everyone's okay. We won't be doing the burnout test anytime soon though. Well, I think that is a very successful first test drive, assuming that we pop the hood and there aren't any leaks, but as long as we're good to go there, we need to get this thing on the trailer, get it up to Pennsylvania to put it on the dyno.
Turn right, then the destination is on your right. Arrived.
I don't think I've been this nervous to have a car on the dyno in a very, very long time. I know it's in good hands. Andrew up here at Complete Street Performance, but still, the butterflies in the stomach are there for sure.
We have to go speed density because we maxed out the mass airflow sensor.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of expecting that to happen, but I was hoping it wouldn't because then it would have been really easy.
went ahead, switched it to speed density on the second pull there. It seems to be doing pretty good. There is one issue that we're trying to be like a little bit careful with. It looks like the driver rear wheel is bent a little bit, and it never showed up driving it. I guess maybe it's balanced, but on the dyno it's kind of showing its ugly, you know, side. And so we're gonna keep the wheel speed down. He's dynoing it in third. Again, my dad's car, it doesn't need to make some huge power number. We just need it to be good, reliable. Since we're already up here, we're gonna try and get the tune taken care of, and then we're gonna have to address that wheel. He said he thinks we got some belt. Oh, the belt's here. Go ahead, shut it off. Shut it off. Belt walked. Yeah, it walked a little bit. That right there is our issue.
Have an alignment.
So it looks like we have a belt alignment issue. When we were putting this together, it was a little bit difficult to tell exactly where on the blower pulley the belt was supposed to sit. I think that we might have had it one too far back. The first two pulls, it was fine, but it looked like on that one, it kind of jumped forward and just kind of threw everything out of alignment. The thing that's kind of crazy to me though, is that this thing is making matching torque, which for a 5.7 is pretty darn impressive. It's on. Slide back some. We reset the belt, and on that last pull, you can see all the way down on the bottom right there on the crank pulley, the belt is actually walked back. And what we realized is that the crank pulley was walking forward. When we originally had this motor refreshed 5 years ago, before there was any thought of actually putting a supercharger on it, we did not have the crank pinned on these LS1s. The crank is not pinned. It doesn't have like a Woodruff key like you see on some cars. So it looked like what happened is that the bolt loosened itself up with all this extra load with the supercharger. We don't think that it happened from the car being NA over the years. I think that it happened basically today is what we think, and it was kind of working itself off as we were making more pulls, which explains why it was having belt alignment issues, and that at least solves that. But we need to go ahead and pop that crank pulley off, make sure we didn't do any damage to the crank itself, and then we need to go ahead and pin that so it doesn't happen again. So we're going off the rails a little bit on the back end of the video here. A couple issues on the dyno that luckily didn't turn into major issues, stayed minor issues before we get the car loaded up on the trailer. Andrew offered to take me to a ride for lunch here in a Plaid, which I've never been in, so really can't refuse that, right?
So it says it's ready.
You build the
Are
anticipation.
you sure you're ready?
I think I'm ready. Oh my goodness! Oh my God!
Nothing like it.
Jeez!
Well, I like to tell people how smooth it is.
Dude! I feel like my face like hurts. Like, oh my goodness! So you're gonna have to give me a little bit of a break, or I might actually throw up. Like, no joke. Whew, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and now we're back to just normal daily driver.
Back from lunch, and the guys got the crank pulley tightened back on. It appears that there were no issues, no damage caused, which is really, really lucky because it could have been a whole lot worse. We are gonna go ahead and line the belt back up and do one more pull and see what happens. This is kind of the best place for us to test and see if the pulley moving was what caused our belt alignment issue, which is pretty much 100% what we think it was, and really just make sure that the car is okay to drive for the time being until we can go ahead and get that crank key. Okay, from that side, looks like everything's running straight. Well, the Camaro passed the test. Everything looks to still be lined up. I'm glad that we were able to do it here where it's a little bit safer. I am going to put some street miles on it, make sure that we don't have any issue before I give this thing back to my dad. And we were able to put down a pretty good number on the final pull.
Now that the crank pulley's situated, you can see that the map sensor, that's this purple guy right here, when we get up to full throttle, it pretty much stays around the 170 mark, which is about 10 pounds of boost, and it holds it across the board so there's no more belt slip anymore. So it's got to be right at the edge, like of the tension of what this can do. Like, you probably cannot raise the boost any higher than this on the 6 rib, but it's really impressive. You're running 60-pound injectors. We're seeing about 90% duty cycle on it, so that's what correlates to the power that we're making. So everything seems to be running pretty darn good.
I think what you can take away from that is that this Boost District kit is really a great, you can almost call it a max effort for a 5.7 with an LSA blower, which is pretty cool because this is an off-the-shelf kit. You can literally call Boost District and you can buy the entire kit, including the blower itself. If you want more power, they have other options too. But if you have a 5.7 that has the GTO or the F-body accessory drive, this kind of gives you a good measuring stick to show what you could do with it. Notice how much louder the intake is?
Yeah.
A little more power than before,
A
right?
little bit, yeah.
So that's like 2,500 RPMs. That's like 4 grand. So like 2,500 to 4 grand. It has way more torque through that mid-range with that blower.
Now you don't hear it kick in or anything.
No, it's not super loud.
Well, it's not like I'm going to get out there and run crazy with it.
Well, that's what I mean though, is that like in that RPM range, like it just has way more torque. It probably makes 200 foot-pounds more of torque than it made before.
Oh, wow.
A little different than before, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Your turn to drive it. Does the clutch feel better or different to you?
Oh, yeah, completely different.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So it just has a lot less stiffness to it. It also has a little bit more feel, like the engagement's a little bit higher up. I feel like before it was like really low, if I remember correctly.
It was.
Yeah, now you can actually kind of get a little bit of the pedal feel out of it.
I guess so. Yeah.
A little different when you're driving it.
A lot different.
Yeah. Like I said, it makes probably 200 foot-pounds of torque more than it did at that RPM. It's not like it makes 200 more foot-pounds at the peak. Like, that's when it's making the most torque. If you've ever wondered where I get my sometimes monotone demeanor from, now you have your answer. My dad is as calm and cool as a cucumber, as they say. Doesn't necessarily always show a lot of emotion, but I think that he will absolutely fall in love with this thing when he has the opportunity to drive it and put some miles on it, hopefully routinely. My dad, since we LS swapped this, has not put a lot of mileage on the car, about 1,200 miles in the last 5 years to be exact. So I need your guys' help. I need you to jump down in the comments right now. He's going to be watching this video. He's going to see the comments and say, "Pops, drive the damn Camaro. Have some fun with it." I need you all to also get down in the comments and let me know if you'd like to see some more content on my dad's Camaro. The Supercharger swap was a great opportunity to get something a little bit different here on the channel. This is the first vintage car that I think that we've done, but also it ties in nicely with the content that you're used to seeing from us, the reason that you tune in week after week. This is a project that I have wanted to do for a very, very long time now, and I'm very thankful to finally have been able to do it. Thank you to our partners on this project, Boost District, for designing a great LSA adapter kit for this blower onto the 5.7. Also, thank you to the guys up at Complete Street Performance for really helping us out with the tune with a couple headaches thrown in. So it's always nice to work with good shops that either supply a great product or offer a great service. It makes projects like this just go more smoothly. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, do the normal YouTube stuff, like and subscribe. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video.